The DAZN boxing show is on the road from Las Vegas as we count down to Saturday night's showdown at the Cosmopolitan Hotel between William Zepeda and Maxi Hughes. Before our own Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora preview the card, the main event fighters face the press.
A pleasure to be here in Las Vegas. From how my career's been and gone. Let's not forget, I'm here on merit. The fight with George, it broke my heart, them judges, and that's something I'm so passionate about. Is all I want in this fight, particular, is just fair judges. The state of Nevada has selected the pool of judges. We're happy, and that's all we want. In boxing, it's just fair judging. I've put that behind me. What happened with Cambosos? The IBF have done the right thing. Thank you to Daryl Peoples and everybody at the IBF. We made our thoughts and feelings known to them after the George fight, and they agreed. So very happy, and that's why I'm here on merit. I am Golden Boy, and like Rocky got the Apollo, chose him out of a book. I haven't been chosen out of a book. I haven't been handed this. I've earned it. The IBF have ordered me and William here to fight. So both of us are here on merit because we are, with the best, with the next people in line to be going forward. Respect William. We've watched him. We know what he's about, and we've shown him that respect in our preparation. My team down here, we've worked very hard. Not many people are giving us a chance, but they never have in any of my career. My last seven fights, I think I might have been favourite one or two times, and we get job done. It's what we do, We got our head down, we work away quietly, we like a laugh, but we get the work done when we need to get it done, and we get results, and it'll be no different Saturday night. I've been working hard all my career. This is 14 years now, professional. As all fighters, that Las Vegas dream. I actually saw the fight poster up on a billboard the other day. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I've earned this. I'm here. I'm here. Nobody's taking this away from me. I'm looking forward to the fight. Thanks for Team A for coming out. My sponsors, Hunters and DBG, for supporting me, allowing me to live my dream and put the work in, day out. Roll on Saturday night and we'll get that win and step closer to a world title.
¿Qué tal? Buen día a todos. Para mí es un honor estar aquí presentes, estar aquí en Las Vegas.
Hello everybody, it's an honor to be here in Vegas. And I remember as a kid, people would ask me when I started fighting, when would you fight in Vegas, kind of making fun of me. Well, now I can answer them. I'm fighting in Vegas this Saturday.
Pero ahora muchos me preguntaban que cuándo era mi siguiente pelea, y ahora sí ya podía decir cuándo peleaba yo en Las Vegas, y pues para mí es un honor estar aquí presente. Como lo mencionaba Oscar, tengo una prueba muy difícil este sábado, pero sabemos que la preparación, la constancia que hemos llevado durante años, nos va a dar primeramente Dios esa victoria. También respeto mucho a Hughes, sabemos el potencial que tiene, sus cualidades, y por eso hicimos una gran preparación junto con el profesor Carlos Duarte, con el Panda, con todo el equipo de trabajo en Jiquipilco, y pues estamos listos para dejar en claro quién es el Camarón Zepeda en la 135. Y pues agradecido con Golden Boy,
I want to thank Golden Boy, I want to thank Eric, and thank everybody for being here.
Por la oportunidad, y I'm ready for everyone who is lightweight division.
We are in Sin City once again for another night of thrilling boxing brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions as undefeated Mexican William Zepeda takes on the United Kingdom's Maxi Hughes. The lightweight contenders battle for contention across multiple sanctioning bodies, with the victor propelling towards IBF and WBA World Championship bouts. I'm joined now by former junior middleweight champion, DAZN broadcaster, Sergio Mora. And Sergio, William Zepeda is back. And that is starting to become a thing in the boxing world, with Zepeda becoming one of the most entertaining boxers in the lower weight class. He's going to take on Maxi Hughes this weekend, another step towards a potential world title shot. But even without a title belt, Zepeda has a case to be made to be at least one of the best 135-pounders in the world. The question is, right now, is he the best lightweight in boxing?
No, not yet. I would say he's top 3, maybe top 4, because you have Olympians, you have 3-division champions ahead of him, Shakur Stevenson. Of course, you still have the legend in Lomachenko. Tank, who doesn't have the championship resume, but he's a bona fide star, and he's a big puncher. All eyes are on him, and you have that monster there. So Zepeda fits in number 4, number 5. He's definitely top 5, though, and he's punching his way up the rankings, because when you're throwing 1,500 punches per round, he's a power puncher. I mean, he's going out for the knockouts. People love to see that. Can you imagine a fight between Camarón Zepeda versus Tank Davis? I mean, that right there sells itself. But no, to answer your question, you still have guys like Shakur Stevenson at the top of my list, Lomachenko, and of course, Tank.
Correction, 1,500 punches per fight, right? Like, he's not throwing 1,500 punches around. That would be really awesome.
Over 100 around, yeah.
Over 100 around, correct. I can buy that, right? Like, the guys you mentioned are much more accomplished at this point. You know, Tank Davis is one of the best fighters in all of boxing, great counterpuncher, coming off that win over Ryan Garcia. Shakur Stevenson, 2-division world champion, a legit pound-for-pound guy right now at this stage of his career. So I'm fine with putting Zepeda 3rd, 4th, 5th, wherever you want to place him. I would say this: if Zepeda fought any of those guys, they're kind of coin flip fights, because to defeat William Zepeda, you have either got to match his output, which is next to impossible, or you've got to be able to catch him between the punches, hurt him, and potentially knock him out. So far, nobody has really been able to do that. So I look at Zepeda and I see a guy with the talent and the ability to beat the Stevensons, to beat the Tank Davises, to beat the top guys, the Lomachenkos, in the 135-pound division. He just needs the opportunity to do that. And he's starting to get that, because you look at some of the wins that Zepeda has had over the last few years. They're getting better and better. I mean, Jojo Diaz at the time was a pretty good win for William Zepeda. He just wiped him out, completely overwhelmed him, blanked him largely on the scorecards. Go fast forward, Mercito Hesta. That was a good win for Zepeda. Stops him in that fight. So he's collecting, B and B- level wins and slowly progressing towards the top of that weight class. So right now, I think you're right. I think he probably is in that 3 to 5 range. But when the time comes for him to face one of those guys, I think he is going to be competitive, and if not a favorite, against some of them in those fights. Now, the fight he has in front of him is Maxi Hughes. And Maxi Hughes, not that well-known stateside. He had a couple of good wins over in the UK. His most recent fight was a really competitive one against George Kambosos. A lot of people left that fight believing Maxi Hughes did enough to win. Kambosos did. Now he's going to go on and fight Lomachenko for a world title later this year. But Hughes showed something in that fight. Did he show you enough to make you believe he can win a fight like this against Zepeda?
He showed me enough, but not to overwhelm and beat a fighter like Zepeda. But yeah, no, he's a cagey fighter. He's a smart fighter. I think he went on a 7-fight win streak after his last loss. So he gave Kambosos all he can handle, and he deserved to win. I watched that fight last night, and he deserved to win that fight. He has a good left hand. It's going to be a southpaw versus southpaw. We know Zepeda is a buzzsaw southpaw. Comes forward, he attacks you, but he's a smart guy. He throws a lot of jabs as well. So it's not just like he's throwing, caution to the wind, throwing punches everywhere. He does it systematically. He breaks you down. The jab, he goes to the body, picks you up with uppercuts, comes around the guard with right hooks. It's going to be very hard to keep that off. I mean, a jab is not going to be enough. The thing about Maxi Hughes, he has a really good left hand, sneaky left hand. He throws it straight, throws it uppercut, and he sneaks it to the body. Those are 2 punches that I could actually land on Zepeda, the uppercut and the body shots. If he can get respect and actually not hurt him, because Maxi Hughes only has a handful of knockouts in 29 fights or whatever it is. So he doesn't have the power on his side. But if he can get a good body shot and then continue just picking and poking at the body, then he can get the respect of Zepeda to not let and unleash that onslaught like he normally does. But I just don't see Zepeda respecting his power. Zepeda takes a big punch upstairs. So not only does he give a big punch, he takes a big punch. So I don't see him respecting Maxi Hughes for too long. 5-6 rounds.
Right. Yeah, you look at Maxi Hughes' resume, and there's some good wins on it. Joan O'Carroll was a good win. Kid Galahad was a good win. Yep, he's got some good wins there. And Kambosos, that was a very, very close fight against a former world champion, a guy who's beaten some good fighters. So he's coming in with credibility. But again, the two things I said right up the top are, to beat Zepeda, you have got to match the output of him or be able to hurt him. And Maxi Hughes can't do either one of those things. He is a relatively low output guy for this weight class, and he's only got 5 knockouts on his resume. So Zepeda is probably going to come in like a buzzsaw. He's probably going to try to hunt Maxi down, land 10, 12 punch combinations, overwhelm him in the same way he did Mercito Hesta. Remember the Hesta fight? Like, Hesta in those early rounds was kind of like shrugging off the power of Zepeda, because Zepeda is not a one-punch knockout artist. But by the 5th round, the 6th round, Zepeda was just wearing him down in that fight. So yeah, wearing Hesta down in that fight. So I can see it going kind of similarly in this fight, with Zepeda getting off to a fast start, Hughes, being able to move a little bit early on, but eventually just getting overwhelmed by the combination punching of Zepeda.
That's exactly how I see this fight going. Hesta is another southpaw, but Hesta was a puncher, that from that left-handed stance. Maxi Hughes is not a puncher, so what's he going to respect? If Hesta was able to go, into 5-6 rounds into that fight and holding his own, I mean, he was trying to fight off the ropes. He just couldn't keep off Zepeda because it's just too much. But Hesta could punch a little bit, and I just don't think Maxi Hughes doesn't have enough. And if he mixes it up, that's another thing that Hughes does. He has courage, man. So not only can he outbox you and move, but he likes to mix it up sometimes. You don't mix it up against Zepeda. The second he sits down, bites down, and tries to exchange, this fight's over. You don't try to mix up with a fighter like that. Can you keep him out for 12 rounds? Possible, probable, probably not.
Yeah, and for Zepeda, the goal is not just to win, but to look really good. He's going to be on the lookout for a vacant title or, just a quick world title opportunity, but he also wants a big fight wherever that can come. And, we've seen the respect for Zepeda amongst his peers start to grow over the last, year or so, where guys are like, that's a real guy. Even Shakur Stevenson has said that's a real guy in this weight class. You heard Oscar De La Hoya say he wants to make a Shakur against Zepeda fight. I would imagine Zepeda's probably going to have to win a world title before Shakur gets in the ring with them. It just doesn't bring as much value unless it's a title unification fight. But I can see Zepeda winning a world title before the end of this year and being in a massive fight at some point in 2025.
Here's a reminder of what's coming your way on Saturday night. We start with a welterweight contest as Joel Iriarte takes on Brian Cargo Akondo. Then it's a cruiserweight dust-up between Tristan Calcru and Marquise Westham. Middleweight prospect Eric Priest faces Jose Sanchez. Our co-main is for the WBA International Lightweight title as hard-hitting Floyd Schofield takes on Usture Suero. Then the main event sees undefeated William Zepeda and Britain's Maxi Hughes battle it out for a shot at future lightweight gold. So make sure you join us live from the fight capital of the world this weekend. The DAZN team are on air from 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night. That's midnight on Sunday morning for those watching in the UK and Ireland, as our unrivaled slate of live boxing in 2024 continues.
This will be the greatest atmosphere you have ever witnessed in a boxing ring.
Here we go.
Zepeda absolutely relentless. What a shot.
Zurdo Ramirez fought like a Mexican southpaw.
Beautiful jab from Hitchens right there.
What a great performance.
He was just too good.
Really quick hands. They were good left hooks.
This is a championship fight.